They forgot to include me in the family beach trip. Even my cousins had rooms. Mom texted, "You'd only make things awkward anyway." I didn't reply. A week later, my card was charged for the entire $11,400 rental. I called the agency. "Cancel the booking and issue a full refund," I said. That night, as they dragged luggage into the street, my brother called screaming. I smiled. "Thought you'd be busy with the sand anyway." And that was only step one. "You think I don't know what you did?" Dad's voice roared through the house, shaking the glass frames on the wall. Mom's wine glass slipped from her hand and shattered. Ava sighed dramatically. "Oh God, not this again." Ryan looked up from his phone, already annoyed. "You had no right," Dad yelled. Mom's face went pale. "Martin, please, No, Ellen," he barked. "You used his damn account again, didn't you?" I stood by the doorway, arms crossed. The air reeked of tension and burnt coffee. Ava's eyes met mine, sharp, mocking. "Wow, Noah's actually here for once. What, no overtime shift tonight?" I didn't respond. I'd learned that my silence was my only weapon left. Dad turned on me. "Don't just stand there like a victim. You've always thought you were better than us, haven't you?" The floor creaked under my shoes. I wanted to leave. I really did. But something in me stayed. Then Mom whispered, "You weren't supposed to find out, Noah." And just like that, the last thread of restraint inside me snapped. Who I am. My name's Noah Grayson. I'm 28. I've always been the quiet one. The one who keeps peace, pays bills, drives people around, remembers birthdays no one else remembers. They say silence is golden, but in my family, silence was how they built my cage. Every time I said no, I became ungrateful. Every time I asked for fairness, I became selfish. They talk about family like it's a sacred bond. But what if that bond is just a leash? I'm not angry anymore, just numb. And that's scarier than anger, because I've stopped wanting their love. Now I just want my freedom. The cast of Betrayal. Dad, Martin Grayson, 61. Loud, controlling. The kind of man who thinks respect is something you can shout into existence. Mom, Ellen Grayson, 58. Soft-spoken, gentle voice. But she hides her guilt behind good intentions. She knows what's happening, but she never stops it. Ava, 26. My sister. Smart, cruel when cornered. Always gets the best of everything. Because she's fragile. Ryan, 22, the youngest. Spoiled, careless. He once crashed my car and told everyone I overreacted. I've spent my whole life being their backup plan, their free labor, their emotional punching bag. And now, they're pretending I'm the problem, again. "So this is about the beach trip?" Ava said, smirking. "You're actually upset about that?" "The one you all planned without me," I said. Even the cousins had rooms, I didn't. Mom's voice was calm, almost rehearsed. "We thought you'd be busy, Noah, and honestly, you'd only make things awkward." Dad nodded like a judge confirming a sentence. "We were trying to avoid drama." I looked at them all. And yet, here we are. Ava rolled her eyes. "God, you always make yourself the victim." I took a breath. "You charged the rental to my card." Ryan laughed nervously. "It's not a big deal. You make more than us. We'll pay you back." I tilted my head. "When?" No one answered. Mom finally said, "You don't need to turn this into something ugly." But it already was ugly. They just didn't like seeing it in daylight. They didn't know I'd already canceled the booking that morning. By the time they reached the beach, they'd be standing outside with their luggage, wondering why the door wouldn't open. Ava stood up, pointing at me. "You're unbelievable. You've always had a problem with giving." I almost laughed. "I've given everything." Dad's jaw tightened. "You've given nothing but attitude." I stared at him. "Who paid the mortgage last year when you got behind? Who covered Ryan's tuition when you said you'd handle it? Who bought Mom's car?" No one spoke. "I never asked for credit," I said quietly. "Just a little respect." Ava scoffed. You think money makes you special? No, I said. It just kept this family from collapsing. Dad slammed his hand on the table. We did what we had to do. And so did I said. I called the agency. The house is canceled. Refund goes back to my account. Mom gasped. Noah! I guess now you'll have to make memories somewhere else, I said. For the first time, the silence felt like mine. 3 years ago, when Dad fell off a ladder, I drove 6 hours to pick him up from the hospital. He didn't thank me. He complained the entire drive home. That night, while Mom made soup, he said, You know, your sister would have handled this better. A week later, when the medical bill came, Mom slid it toward me. You have savings, right? You can help. I did. I paid it. When I asked if anyone could help me with my rent that month, Ava laughed. You make more than me. Stop acting broke. That was the night I realized I was invisible, unless they needed something. And no matter what I gave, they always made me feel small for it. Back in the present, Ava came back holding a folder, her face smug, like she'd just found a weapon. You want to talk about betrayal? She said. Fine. You're not even supposed to have that account money. What are you talking about? She threw the papers on the table. Dad used your name for a bank loan 2 years ago. You didn't think your credit tanked for no reason, did you? The words hit harder than I expected. I turned to Dad. Is that true? He didn't look at me. It was for the house. You're part of this family, aren't you? The house you put in Ava's name. Mom started crying. Don't twist things, Noah. We were desperate. I shook my head slowly. No, Mom. You were selfish. Their faces crumbled under the truth, and I finally saw them clearly. You've always thought you were better than us, Dad spat. No, I said quietly. I just thought family meant something. Ryan shouted, You're tearing us apart. I turned to him. You can't tear what's already broken. Mom cried harder. Ava yelled about how ungrateful I was. Their voices mixed into one chaotic noise, the same noise I grew up in, and for the first time I didn't shrink under it. I looked at them all, the people who taught me love meant debt, silence, and shame, and said, I gave you all my silence. Tonight, I give you the truth. Ava sneered. You'll die alone, Noah. I smiled faintly. I already did once. This is just the afterlife. And I walked out. The night air hit like a wave of clean water. My chest felt lighter, even as my hands trembled. My phone kept buzzing. Calls from Dad, voicemails from Mom, texts from Ava full of insults and guilt. By sunrise, I'd blocked them all. I opened a new account, closed theirs, and moved what was mine. Finally. A week later, Mom emailed, We can't make rent without you. Please think of your family. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I replied, I did, for 28 years. Months passed. I moved into a small apartment by the bay. Cracked windows, old walls, but peace in every corner. Sometimes I'd catch myself setting 4 plates on the counter out of habit. Then I'd laugh and put 3 back. Silence became my music. No yelling. No manipulation. Just space to breathe. Mom sent a letter last week. I miss you. I don't miss who I was. I folded it carefully and placed it in a drawer. I didn't forgive her, not yet. But I felt something close to peace. Because maybe healing doesn't mean they change. Maybe it means you stop hoping they will. And for the first time, I didn't carry their weight anymore. If you were in my place, if your own family forgot you, used you, and called you ungrateful when you stood up, would you forgive them or walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your story matters here. If you've ever been silenced, ignored, or taken for granted, hit like. If you believe silence can be power, subscribe for more stories like Noah's, because sometimes the quietest voices tell the loudest truths.